Hello and welcome. You're watching Markets Today. I'm Sakshi Batra, and on this edition, we talk all about stock markets. How have the markets started the trade today, and what kind of triggers will they be tracking throughout the session? What is really happening to your investments, the sectors, and the stocks that are gaining or losing the most in today's trading session? All of that coming up over the next 4 to 5 minutes, so stay tuned. First of all, it's a big day. 5 assembly election results are slated to come out. We are already getting some early trends on those five electoral battles that we are talking about. It's a battleground 2022, and right ahead of the 2024 Lok Sabha polls. This is going to be a landmark election result as well, and the markets are widely watching the results, as well as these election results will set the tone as to what is really going to happen in the massive 2024 general elections as well. For now, if you see, the stock markets have really cheered the early trends. They have opened with massive gains. Of course, a lot of gains have also trickled in from the cues across the globe that we've been getting. The Sensex and the Nifty opened with a sharp gap up today. And of course, there were the US market cues that were positive. The Asian markets also opened higher. Of course, there is also a sentiment pouring in with the crude oil prices easing, also pushing the sentiments. And domestically, we are getting these cues or early trends from the election results as well. Let's first look at the opening levels for the Sensex and the Nifty, and then we will come on to the other indicators that we are watching out for right now. So at open, we saw Sensex opening up 1,128 points, or over 2% higher at 55,775. The Nifty also was up by over 314 points, or if you talk about 1.9% gains we're seeing here. 16,700 has been topped on the Nifty as well. So another positive indicator on that front. About 1860 shares have seen advancing in the early action itself. Just about 185 shares are seen declining, whereas 38 shares remain unchanged at the moment. Talk about some specific stocks. So you do have massive gains coming in on several stocks like Tata Motors, Asian Paints, HUL, Axis Bank, and SBI. These are the top major gainers on the Nifty. Remember, these were the stocks that were also falling very, very sharply on the back of the rise in crude oil prices too. On the other hand, rise in crude oil prices had given a fillip to all the commodity-based stocks. Talk about ONGC, Coal India, Hindalco, Tata Steel, JSW Steel. These are the laggards today. So all those stocks that were gaining on the back of rise in crude oil prices, these stocks are seeing some declines coming in today. The outcome of the Uttar Pradesh election will definitely be widely watched, because for markets, this will set the tone on how the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party approaches and prepares for the general elections in 2024. It is the largest of all elections among these five assembly election results that we are tracking. Oil prices retraced about 12 to 15 odd percent from their recent highs after the Russia and Ukraine crisis. Amidst that, we are seeing some talks resuming on the diplomatic front as well. And the UAE also stated that it supports the raising of oil output to calm the markets at this point in time. These two particular statements have led to the kind of easing in the oil prices. Petrol and diesel prices still remain unchanged, and all eyes will be on tomorrow. Then, once we are seeing the results out, there is wide anticipation that tomorrow onwards, whatever the crude oil prices have jumped up, all those losses will OMCs will try to recover by raising the oil prices suddenly. FIIs still remain net sellers in the market. 4,818 crore rupees worth of shares sold in yesterday's trading session. The DIIs have bought instead, compensated most of these losses by buying 3,275 crore rupees worth of shares as well. Now, talk about some of the other stocks and that are in news flows right now. PNB Housing Finance, for example, is in focus right now, as the finance company has approved about fundraising of up to 2,500 crore rupees via a rights issue. So this stock will be largely in focus through the session today. Biocon will be in focus as CRISIL has placed its AA plus rating on the long-term bank facilities of the company on watch with development implications after the acquisition of the biosimilar assets of the US-based Viatris Inc. by the subsidiary Biocon Biologics for $3.33 billion. Now, Bharti Airtel from the telecom space will be in focus as well, as the company has entered into an agreement to acquire 9% stake in Avara Clean Tea and Project Private Limited, which is a special purpose vehicle. This SPV is formed for owning and operating the captive power plant. Now, among the sectors that you're looking at, barring, say, metals, rest all of the sectors are showing gains today. So you do have the likes of the Nifty Bank that is up by 3.6%. This was the index that fell very, very sharply in the recent fall, and it is seeing smart gains coming up. Autos also up by over 3%. Nifty FMCG adding about 2%. IT index also up by 1.5%. And let's also look at some of the other moves that you will be tracking apart from the kind of election results. Of course, there's Uttar Pradesh, Punjab, Uttarakhand, Manipur, Goa. All of these results are awaited in today's trading session. The early trends do indicate that Bharatiya Janata Party is leading with the trends being shown right now in Uttar Pradesh, in Uttarakhand, and in Goa and in Manipur also, as far as the early trends go. So Punjab is showing early trends of Aam Aadmi Party leading right now at this point in time. So this is the kind of electoral setup that the markets were kind of looking at an ideal setup with. So conducive for the investors as well. No bad surprises as far as the early indications or the leads are concerned. These are just the trends, no clear numbers as of now. So that you just know that these are the trends that are being indicated. Now, as far as the market strategy is concerned, for traders, experts say that buying on dips should be the preferred strategy as long as Nifty stays above 15,921. The targets are 16,695 that have already been met, and now more aggressive targets of 16,953 will be the important next level that chartists are tracking right now. From chartist standpoint as well, the technical landscape will considerably improve only if Nifty closes above the 16,953 mark. That is what Prashant Apsi has been talking about. So keep an eye on these kind of movements as well. For now, we are seeing very, very sharp gains coming in across broad-based buying into the stock markets, mostly led by the global cues, the easing of crude oil prices, and ahead of the election results as well. We'll wait to see whether this gets built on and sustains towards the end of the session as well. And how should you, as investors, be really looking at what we have been constantly telling on markets today, getting you expert opinion as well, as to even if there is this war situation, even if there is a topsy-turvy market in the commodities because of this war-like situation, we've been constantly saying that this is not the time to panic sell. This is the time to let the dust settle and things will move into the right direction soon enough. And we are hopefully moving into that direction right ahead as well. With that, I'll leave you right here, but I'll keep getting you all the updates from the kind of movement and the buzz that we are seeing on these streets so that you are on top of your investment game throughout the day today, even as we keep an eye out on the election results as well. Thanks a lot for tuning in for now.